Biden constantly runs down his own country by claiming that half of his fellow citizens don't respect democracy. Now, this encourages Putin to believe that the Americans are too divided to be of much use and that they may not even be a country much longer at all. Of course, Biden is lying about this threat to U.S. democracy, but Putin may not realize that. In any event, Biden's disparaging of America is very dangerous. Number two, Biden's top military officials are manifestly incompetent, as they proved in Afghanistan. And what's worse is Putin knows this as well, and he cares that they care more about being woke than about winning battles. So, of course, he doesn't take us seriously as a military power. And finally, Biden has repeatedly signaled that he's desperate to please folks in the Western Europe arena, especially Germany. And since Germany is relying on Russia to stay warm in the winter, he knows he can get away with pretty much anything. Now, we know that Biden and his team are lying. They don't think democracy is really in peril. They aren't planning to move or sell their stock portfolios. They still vacation in places like Florida every chance they get. And they don't believe that America is on the verge of a civil war or fascism. They just say these things for political purposes. For the rest of the world, though, and folks like Putin and China's Xi, they take them very seriously, and that's the real threat. Joining me now is Indiana Congressman Jim Banks, Republican Study Committee Chair. Congressman, if the Europeans are just going to bow down to Putin, and it seems they are, I mean, it's a logical question, is it not? Why are we more invested with troops and money in the situation than they are?
It's a great question, Laura. And at this point, I think Europe is as confused about Joe Biden's strategy toward Russia and the situation in Ukraine as most of us are. Because at this point, the Biden administration hasn't articulated what they plan to do. You've already heard Secretary Blinken come out today in the midst of negotiations and talks about this subject and say nothing's going to come out of it because they know that America has no leverage over Putin and Russia, who doesn't see America as a threat. So they've already said that the negotiations aren't going to lead anywhere. It forecasts not just to Russia, but the rest of the world how much of a joke this administration is.
Well, yeah, he spoke about Russia today, and he said this.
I want to thank NATO Secretary General Stoltenberg for bringing us together. As he said in his own press conference a short while ago, Russia's aggressive actions are a threat to peace and security in Europe. We're prepared to respond forcefully to further